Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, Tesla just set some new delivery records in Q1. But that is not even half the story. When we look at Europe and what is going on right now, Tesla is absolutely mopping the floor with all the other OEMs. And now we're no longer talking about EVs, but the Model Y has become one of Europe's best-selling cars. And in Scandinavia, they have already just taken over, breaking multiple records, and we can see that Norway did show us the way to the future as more countries follow suit and Tesla is leading the way, doing the exact opposite of what the critics said would happen in Europe. Tesla is doomed in Europe because of all the competition. Well, Tesla is gaining market share in the EV market, which should hardly be possible with the hundreds of EV models that are out now. The competition is here, but Tesla is breaking all their European records, even the ones set by ICE cars. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. Tesla just revealed the Q1 deliveries and production numbers, and as expected, it was records all around, as usual. 440,000 in production and 423,000 in deliveries, so up year over year about 36% in deliveries and beating the old quarterly record by 18,000 units. And we have to remember this is in a quarter when most of the other automakers are down. Compared to Q4, Tesla is still growing despite the seasonal change in demand and the trouble we're seeing in the Chinese market and many other places. Production is only about 1,000 units more than Q4, but we should remember that we have 2 days less in Q1 than Q4, and the Shanghai was shut down for the Chinese New Year, so about 8 full days, and the Berlin factory was also shut down for 5 days during Q1. So just the 2 days less in Q1 is about 10,000 units less in production. And with the Shanghai factory shut down for 8 days, we are talking about 25,000 units missing in production because of that lockdown, and Berlin probably something like 3,000 units. So we are talking close to 40,000 units we are missing in Q1's production compared to a quarter with full capacity. So if nothing happens in Q2, we should see Tesla get some new all-time highs in production with quite the margin, as not only do Q2 have one more day than Q1, but Berlin is now spitting out 5,000 units per week, and Texas has just announced it hits 4,000 units last week in production, so they are also getting some good momentum. And both of these factories will continue to ramp up even further in Q2. So this is very important. We can look at what happened when Tesla's Shanghai factory had a year of ramp up and then got to volume production in the second and third year. Look at the jump we saw in Tesla's unit sales, all because of this one factory. And now we have 2 factories reaching volume production. So now we should see yet another big jump in both production and deliveries. And the next 3 quarters are usually much bigger than Q1. So I think we will see Tesla getting above 500,000 in production in Q2, and maybe even close in deliveries, maybe something like 485,000 units. But no matter what, it will be a new sales record every quarter for years to come. And Tesla is showing all the critics wrong, as they are quickly taking over in Europe, and in Scandinavia they already have. In my country of Denmark, the Tesla Model Y accounted for 1 out of 5 of all new vehicle sales in Denmark for the month of March, no matter propulsion. It was by far the best-selling car in my country in March. The second month in a row, the Tesla Model Y became the best-selling car of any model, and in Q1 it was the best-selling car in Denmark, period. Tesla's BEV market share was 56% in March in Denmark, and Tesla's one model, the Model Y, had 49% market share of the BEV market. Tesla's Model Y is mopping the floor here in Denmark, selling 5 times as many units as the runner-up, the Volkswagen ID.4. So Tesla's one model selling more units in March 2023 than all of Tesla's sales in the full year of 2022. Actually, Tesla sold more units in March than any other car company in history has ever sold in a single month. And not by a little. About twice as many units as the second best-selling car model of all time in Denmark. Tesla is blowing away all the old records. What a growth boost. But Tesla need more models. No, they are mopping the floor of all the other 200 EV models available in my country. And the same thing goes for Sweden, our Scandinavian brothers. For the first time in history, an electric car is Sweden's best-selling car. The new leader is, of course, the Tesla Model Y, ahead of the Volvo XC40 and XC60 in second and third place. And not the EV version, just the ICE car. But the Tesla Model Y even outsold the electric Volvo XC40 in Sweden in Q1 on its home turf. So that was very impressive all on its own. In total, new car sales dropped about 9.5% compared to the first quarter of 2022. However, the electric cars continued the trend of gaining market share and have increased by 15% compared to last year. Sales of gasoline cars dropped 14% and diesel cars by 18%, and plug-in hybrids decreased by 26%. Yes, the stupid hybrids are quickly dying. In other words, pure electric vehicles are taking over the market. And one model is leading the way, and that is Tesla Model Y. But if you thought Denmark and Sweden was doing great, well, let's look at Norway, as they also set some whole new records in Norway and sold more cars in Norway in March than both Denmark and Sweden combined, even though Denmark and Norway have about the same size population. This also leads to a new quarterly record in Norway. In Q1, 44% of last year's volumes was already sold. But why are these small countries here in Europe so important? They are not high-volume countries. No, but BEVs has already taken over, or it's about to. Norway has about 80 to 90% plug-ins, Sweden about 70%, and Denmark about 50%. And we can pretty much get every EV model available in these 3 countries, so Scandinavia is a very good representation of what's to come for the rest of the industry. As it is no longer just one country like Norway, no, we are seeing the same thing happening in Sweden and Denmark, just that the EV adoption is actually happening faster than it did for Norway. And this is actually what all the critics said would never happen, especially in these countries, as competition was so fierce, with more than 200 EV models to choose from over 80 different brands. Yeah, Tesla would be crushed by the competition and Tesla would lose huge market share. But so far, with the numbers we have from EU-EVs.com, Tesla's year-to-date sit about 20% BEV market share, compared to about 15% for the full year of 2022. So the exact opposite is happening in Europe than what the critics like Gordon Johnson, Mark Spiegel, and many other Tesla short sellers said would happen. They couldn't have been more wrong, even if they tried. But even if we take the biggest market here in Europe, Germany, we can see we are also about 50% plug-in market already, and Tesla is also leading here by far. The Tesla Model Y is outselling all of Volkswagen brand's many models combined in Germany. Or the Audi e-tron and Q4 e-tron and Q8 e-tron combined cannot match the Model Y. And in the UK, which is also one of the biggest markets in Europe, plug-ins are about 40%, and Tesla is leading here as well. But Scandinavia is just a bit further along with fully electric vehicles, and as we can see in Q1, it is only speeding up, and Tesla is mopping the floor with all the other automakers. And we saw with February numbers, the Model Y did become the best-selling car of any kind in Europe, and they even did better in March, so we're just waiting for all the numbers to tick in. But as you can also see, there is no EVs in the top 25 list. There is only one, and that is the Model Y sitting at the top spot. And for the rest of the year, Tesla's Berlin factory will produce at least 180,000 units in the last 36 weeks, as they produce about 5,000 units per week. But they will, of course, ramp up even more. And remember, the best-selling car last year in all of Europe was Peugeot's little 208 car that sold just above 200,000. Tesla will no doubt beat that this year, as 95% of all those Model Ys coming out of the Berlin factory are going straight out into the European market that is hungry for EVs. And Tesla has the best value for money you can get right now, with the safest car on the planet, that is the most fun to drive and some of the longest range, that drops the least in range in winter, and the fastest charging and best charging network. There's just nothing that gets close as a full package, not just a car but the full package, like a Tesla Model Y. And the Model Y is just a perfect family car, spacious and safe, and it's already the best-selling car in Europe year to date, as we also expect it to be on a global scale. 2023 will no doubt be the year the Tesla Model Y took over the car market in Europe, and probably the rest of the world. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.